Hello, I'm Jonathan Morton, and welcome to The Confident Writer, where I help you create a more positive mindset around your writing by helping you develop the mental fortitude that is needed to combat self-doubt. Today, I'm going to be talking about discipline. No, not the type where you get grounded or sent to your room, although there could be aspects of that in today's talk. But how discipline can help you complete your goals, overcome obstacles in your life, and help you become the best version of yourself. According to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, discipline is defined as control gained by enforcing obedience or order, orderly or prescribed conduct or pattern of behavior, self-control, punishment, training that corrects, molds, or perfects the mental facilities or moral character, a field of study, and a rule or system of rules governing conduct or activity. As we look it over, we might find some things in here that we really like. Who wouldn't want to have better control over themselves, have more order in their lives, or have a stronger mind? There may even be some things in here, however, that stop us from pursuing discipline. Obedience, training, a system of rules, and what exactly does training that corrects mean? That almost sounds like you're putting some sort of limitations on me. And you know what? You'd be right. But if you want the benefits of discipline, you can't pick and choose the aspects of it that you want. You're going to have to give up some of your desires and wants to reach whatever goals you're trying to achieve. At first, it feels restricting, but something I've come to notice in life, and this is gonna sound odd, setting rules and limitations for yourself actually sets you free. Now, how is that possible? Well, there are things in this world that seek to ruin and destroy our lives, and when we can say no to them, it gives us power. The thing is, without a set of guidelines or rules, what do we know to say no to? Now, obviously I'm talking about a self-imposed discipline here, where we've chosen to follow a path, not one that was forced upon you. That is a completely different subject. When you've found a path, however, one that's actually good for you, follow it fully. Don't try to hack it or take shortcuts. Really dig in. We can have discipline imposed on us, or we can make the decision to turn it into self-discipline. This is when we can truly start to see the real benefits that come from implementing it into our lives. First, we start to have more freedom. Then, we're able to do and get the things done we actually want to get done. For me, this was getting up early in writing. I had to give up some video game time, but I'm getting things done that I need to get done. I can use video games as a reward later when I've done well, but I'm sure to balance it out, because ultimately, my goal is to make content like this and to write a book. In several years, when I look back, will I be happy about beating that video game, or will I be happy I stuck to my writing? In essence, you do what you have to do so that you can do what you want to do. The second benefit of discipline is focus. I don't know about you, but I see a lot of people out there who are just letting life happen to them, or at the very least, seem lost. They don't have a mission in their life. The thing is, anything can be a mission, from being a good parent, getting fit, to pursuing a new career. What's important is that you know it's a mission and understand where you're rocking it and where your weaknesses are so that you can learn from them. This leads into the third benefit, a real sense of accomplishment. Adding disciplined habits into your life helps you feel fulfilled and accomplished. You get to see yourself learn, apply, grow in a skill, and most importantly, feel useful, especially one day when you get to pass that skill on. And finally, it generates mastery. This is the fun part. Not only can you pass whatever skill you're trying to learn on to others, but once you get good at a skill, you can really play with it and get more creative with it. Maybe even design something new from it. And that's exciting for me. But let me slow this down a little bit. There are some things that need to be considered when it comes to discipline, as it can be taken to an extreme. Because of this, be sure to add in balance. Discipline can run the risk of burning you out, or even at times get boring. To combat these ideas, make sure to change up any habits or routines, and get the rest when you need it. And add in appropriate rewards for a job well done. When it comes to rest specifically, make sure to add in any needed recovery time. Just be honest with yourself. If at all possible, try this phrase: I'll rest tomorrow. And if you really need to rest when you get up the next day, do it then. Obviously, within acceptable means. If you wake up sick or something like that, do what you can, but don't push yourself. Another phrase I like is procrastinate not, insert activity. You can always not, insert activity, tomorrow. So if you're a writer, This saying can be changed to procrastinate not writing. You can always not write tomorrow. I hope that makes sense. So I've given you some reasons why I believe discipline is important, beneficial, and how to balance it. But how do you start? Well, I've got 5 tips that'll help you out. Number 1, choose what you want to be better at. This one sounds simple, but a lot of people just don't know what they want. So get out there, study, try different things, and collect experiences. Once you find that thing that you want or possibly have to get better at, give yourself a title. You might even have a few of them. For me, one of those titles is the Disciplined Writer. Just the name itself sets up a list of expectations when you hear it. It's a simple trick that gets my mind going in the direction I want when I wake up each day. Now, obviously trying a new thing is easier when you're younger, but if you're older, you're just going to have to be a little bit more intentional with your time. No matter what age you are, however, discipline is going to be a key, and a major key to discipline is number 2. Developing habits. Habits are the daily things you do to get what you want done. But just like anything else, you have to make a plan and set clear, obtainable goals for them. This is a whole nother topic on its own, and I'm going to have to add it to my list of things to talk about, but in essence, your goal is to answer when, where, what, why, and how you're going to do it all. Key things to keep in mind when developing habits is what are you capable of doing? What boundaries do you need to set up? And what barriers do you need to prepare for? If you're having trouble sticking to these habits or developing discipline, stick with me for number 3. Discipline equals freedom, and Jocko Willink. If you're still having a hard time with discipline or want to dive deeper into it, I suggest picking up the book Discipline Equals Freedom by Jocko Willink. It helps get you into the mindset of discipline by exploring different subjects and tools that help remind you of why you're seeking discipline in the first place. I would also suggest his podcast as well, for it takes a much deeper look into what discipline can do for you. If you're interested, I've linked the book and the podcast in the description. When I talked about the stages of change last week, I mentioned that having a mentor can really help you make the changes you want in your life. Jocko is that distant mentor for me when it comes to daily discipline, and he inspired me to do my own writing discipline, where I check in every morning at 5 a.m. on Twitter and Instagram to write. Which leads me to my next tip. Number 4, finding accountability. Making a commitment to post to the 5 a.m. Writers Club with my hashtag writing discipline every morning has done wonders in my life. Not only does it help me feel satisfied with the knowledge that I've already started the day completing or working on my goals, but it serves as a form of accountability. I feel a good pressure to get up on those days when I don't really want to get up, for no good reason. Really, the only exceptions I make are when I'm sick or starting to feel burned out. Accountability also expands into finding groups that are seeking the same skills as you, or letting friends know what your intentions are so that they can hold you accountable. Then there's the most important factor to accountability: yourself. You need to be honest with yourself if this is going to work. You know the ways that you're going to try to manipulate the system. Don't! Because if you do, it unwinds all the hard work that you're putting into this. This is even more important when it comes to the last tip. Number 5, identifying rewards. The reward for making a change has to be worth it. If someone were to give you $1 million to stay disciplined, I'm sure you could do it. But we're in the real world, so how do you make your goal worth $1 million to you? I can't answer that for you, but I'll tell you mine after I explain what rewards look like to me. First off, rewarding yourself for not doing anything or making a shortcut only makes it more likely that you'll do it again. I think that you can see where this leads, but reward yourself in the right way, and BAM! Those habits you've developed will start to grow stronger, and you'll be striving for even greater skills in no time. But how do we reward ourselves? I find that having both short-term and long-term rewards helps me out the best. For example, let's say you want to reach the word count of 1,000 words per day. If you do it, you get to watch a BookTube video. On top of that, you have a weekly goal of 6,000 words. And if you complete that, maybe you get to buy or check out a writing book at the store. You could make the reward anything you want, but making them related to the goal is ideal as it motivates a continued cycle of growth. On the other hand, sometimes we just need to add in a little entertainment into our lives. My reward usually involves video games, as I don't have a lot of time to play them due to the goals I want to accomplish. So when I finish a section of writing, what I'll usually do is I'll pick up my Game Boy here and play a game of 2 or Tetris to refocus my mind. A word of warning about the short-term goals. Make sure they don't become a distraction or tremendously outweigh the time you're putting into your work. If I find that I'm in a writing flow, even if I'm in a place that I would normally stop, I keep going instead. I find the small reward system works best when it's a bit more scattered like this anyways. Either way, here's the answer to that $1 million question that I asked at the beginning of this section. What's important to remember is that getting better at your skill or closer to your goal is a reward within itself. If it doesn't feel that way, maybe it's time to find a different habit that could work with you or move on to a different project altogether. Just be sure to keep up with some sort of discipline. I hope today's talk about discipline has improved your confidence as a writer. If so, please let me know in the comments below, or if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. Also, if you have any more activities related to discipline, please leave them in a link below as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you think anyone would benefit from today's topic, share, as it may be something they need to hear today. Thank you for watching again, and as always, don't forget to learn, create, and help others do the same. I'll see you next time.